Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to BingetownTV. This is Kathleen, and I'm here with Luke and Kyle recording our first PitchtownTV recording. This style of episode, we're going to have guests on to discuss the pilot of their favorite shows and convince the rooks and you, the listeners, to watch. For today, I was lucky enough to pitch the first show, and I chose Sci-Fi's Wynonna Earp. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I guess for a little bit of background, I feel like Kathleen has been talking about the show for longer than we've been even doing the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been years at this point. So finally, my eyeballs have seen Wynonna Earp in action.
Oh, my God.
And I will say that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And I totally am just going to be walking on eggshells this entire episode because if you ever insult this show, I just feel like I'm insulting Kathleen's personality. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, and for reference, this is our second PitchtownTV episode that should be released. The first one was the one I did months ago on Kathleen's podcast, and it was for the magicians. So it just kind of works out that it's pretty much our personalities are the episodes we're going to be pitching so far.
And if I was going to pitch a show, it would be the magicians as well. And that's what I
True.
love about us. That's why we did that first. Go check out our coverage on the Magician season 5. It's lit.
Shameless. All the
I was
accolades.
going to say Rick and Morty, Rick Worthy. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, the first season is definitely low budget. And I will say I've seen this show 6 times through in the last year plus, which is
Okay,
fucking
year plus,
out of
right?
control. Yeah.
Year
Yeah.
plus.
It's just got to plus, you know what I mean? So when I was watching the first season for the first time, I got hooked on episode 4, just so everyone knows.
Mhm.
And I know that for a fact. It's definitely low budget. It's this tiny little Canadian. Jesus. I was gonna say Californian. What the fuck? Am I drunk? I wish.
Does it get shot in Vancouver?
No, it gets shot in like the frigid Alberta, like middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah. So it's low budget. Definitely. It's the first season. The style of it is kind of like a bad guy of the week, like a revenant of the week type stuff. They get away from that. This pilot is very good. I thought it wasn't as strong, but now after the 9th time watching it, I'm like, this is a very strong pilot for Melanie Scrofano as Wynonna. The other characters don't get fleshed out enough in this, and there's even more introduced in the second episode and everything. But I think it's a pretty strong pilot.
All right, quick question. You said you got hooked on episode 4, and is it because of do they start introducing some big picture plot, or is it because more characters that you like get introduced and get fleshed out? What was the reason that you think for like what am I looking for?
So it takes about 3 episodes to really get going. Like you're still in the very early stages of Wynonna working with dolls for Black Badge. Like Waverly's still not as involved as she should be, and of course, like, I'm not going to spoil it for the people, but the mustache guy is like very fucking important. He's barely in this episode. And Sheriff Nicole Hott, not Sheriff, Deputy, spoiler, is introduced in the second episode. And what this show is really good at doing is building relationships. Like, just because it's low budget, the plot's really good and the relationships are great. It's, as you've seen in this, like, the effects of the guys like going into the ground, like I remember just like rolling my eyes, like the fire into the earth. You thought it was okay?
My take was that it's low budget television.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's low budget in the sense of it's more like kind of charming.
Yeah.
Than it is
Agreed.
Like cheesy.
Totally.
So I was like, I feel like they kind of knew their limitations and worked within it. I honestly thought that like I did not expect us to see them like falling back into hell, and I thought that was like a nice.
I love that about you.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't like rolling my eyes at it.
Every time Kathleen has pitched this show to us for the last couple years, it's always been with the caveat that season 1 is way lower budget than what it gets, right?
Yeah.
You always say that. So I went into it with that lens, and I agree. I didn't think it was that bad. I expect it worse. I will
set the expectations dirt low.
For the hell part, I will say what was way worse for me was like the action sequences that she got. The one in the beginning, like the bus, whatever. She like does like a spin or something, and then the spinning kick at the end. That made me want to throw up.
So,
they were both way worse.
Okay, you know what's really interesting, and I actually have a little section that I wrote, the things that don't stick. So the visuals of the revenants burning into hell, that doesn't stick. It goes for like maybe half the season, and then they kind of get rid of it. They'll show like a glow in Wynonna's eyes instead. You know what I mean? Like it's like just representing that it's still happening, but they don't really show it.
It's like what's his name from Alice in Borderland?
The glow from his eyes.
When he's looking in the fire at the end.
Oh,
Agni.
Agni.
It's like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone when the glow. Never mind. Okay. So, hey, you guys. So the other thing I was going to say is, when she gets off the bus and then her phone rings and it's like a birthday tone.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's her turning 27, becoming the heir.
Mhm.
And she goes like head rush or something like that. It almost gives her supernatural powers, but that goes away immediately. So the rest of it in the clip I showed you is her and Doll's training. She just trains like a badass. She doesn't actually have any superpowers, which makes it seem like she can do a jumping side kick all of a sudden. That doesn't stick.
Oh, that wasn't like a part of the powers?
No, she's just a badass. Like, no, I'm saying that, like, I think in the pilot, which is probably shot way prior to the rest of the season being shot, I think they were like, okay, it's going to give her powers, but it actually doesn't. Like, the power is in the gun. The magic is in the gun.
She does a crazy, like, backflip right in the beginning, and I was just like, how the hell? But okay.
Yeah, the beginning action sequence was odd because I feel like she just kind of fell on the ground and then was just laying there. And I remember thinking, like, what the fuck is she doing? And then the ringtone starts singing happy birthday.
Yeah.
And she just said head rush and like started like bawling out. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Right.
I got what that meant based on just conversations I've had with you, but did you not really know what was going on?
I mean, like, I understood that the birthday thing had significance. I guess I didn't catch that it had turned midnight. Maybe I missed it on the phone, like there was a clock or something.
You know what it always reminds
I knew
you of?
The birthday had significance. Because they
because like
drop other
Waverly's
hints.
like, happy birthday, sis. It's like Waverly Earp, which I love.
They drop like other hints kind of throughout until they finally give you the reveal at the end. But
yeah, that ringtone reminds me of
Happy Death Day.
Yes. It's your birthday. Gonna pick up the phone.
I had that written down. I was like, I'm saying that. Any chance I can bring up that movie, I will. I want to ask real quick.
Yeah, hit it.
I didn't want to look this up because I wanted to kind of have a guess on. I'd see what Kyle thought, like live on the podcast. Of it says she's turning 27. How old do you think the actress was right in this scene? Like when they shot season 1? Do you think she was older or younger?
I honestly seems like a good age, but if I had to pick, I would say older.
Yeah, I don't know the
I know
answer.
exactly.
I would have guessed
So
she was like 29 here.
She's almost 40 right now, and she is sexy.
Yeah,
she only gets hotter. Like,
okay, so she is older than 27.
Yeah, so I want to say season 4, 2 and 3 are amazing too. Season 4 blew my fucking mind with like what they did with it. She is absolutely incredible. And I told the boys before they start this episode, just like focus on Melanie Scarfano and just how good she is as a lead, because I think a good show really hones in on what their characters can do, what their strengths are, and especially like relationships. And that's what this show does. They take the fact that she has all these amazing comedic beats and they just crank it up to fucking 100. She's so funny. And this episode is missing a lot of the quirkiness. You got a few from her.
Really?
Like oh my God. It is magician level quirky at some point. I swear. And I like,
she is badass. Like I absolutely loved her. You could tell right off the beginning when they're on the bus, she has the hero complex trait, how she's going to save the girl when no one else wants to. So they give her that and they make her super bad. By the end of this episode, you know, she's just a badass. Like she was on that motorcycle. Like she's awesome. I can already tell she's going to carry this.
She's amazing. Like Quentin from The Magician. She's like a reluctant hero and she just like assumes the position because she's like, here we go. She's so fucking flawed. Just like Quentin. They should describe her as whiskey soaked and reckless, which I love. Fucking hot.
It's going to be whiskey on tap the whole series.
Well, this is why I only drink whiskey. You know this. Like it's even more so.
Slowly your personality is changing over time.
Yeah,
you want to be
exactly.
Wynonna Earp.
So did I miss it? But what they might have told you right in the beginning, but what state is this supposed to take place in?
Okay, that's amazing because I've seen like 100 hours worth of panels and podcasts for this. They never say. Sometimes they're using Canadian money. Sometimes they're using dollars. Sometimes it's like crazy.
Oh shit! It's not meant to be in. I just assumed it was like Arizona or something.
No, it's like it could be Canadian and it could also be. Do you see this like sinking?
Yeah, the mic's just falling away from
and
you.
it's Canadian.
How do I tighten this up? In the beginning of the episode, Wynonna says like first time out west to the girl who gets her head ripped off from the bus. And it's supposed to be like, just like a modern day Old West. So should I like go through just the curse and everything?
That's fine because I'm sure that's going to be early game stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the flashbacks give a lot of context of what the show is going to be and what this curse really is. So Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday were like real gunslingers back in 120 years ago.
It was like the 1860s or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like the OK Corral. Wyatt took down 77 outlaws with his gun called Peacemaker, which we find out. All of those outlaws are resurrected as revenants. And at the time, Willa was the eldest daughter. So now we're present day. And Ward, which was the current Earp heir, gets killed, which we find out gets killed by Wynonna, which is fucking devastating. It's kind of like her origin story of everyone gaslighting her into thinking that she's crazy, because you find out like Wynonna would just be at school being like, demons fucking took my sister, and they're like, you're nuts. So that's why when Doll says demons, she's like, you fucking said it. Like, they put me in the loony bin. Like, what the fuck is this? So they really flesh that out throughout the rest of the seasons. But
no way in hell that Willa does not make an alive appearance at some point in the series, right? And I'm talking to you, not her. Is Willa dead? Like, you think she's not going to be a character, even if she's like a fucking demon in some format? There's no way the oldest sister isn't going to be a major plot point at some point.
Okay, there's a little gray area between her being a major plot point and her like coming back to like being an actual character.
Really? I don't think
I feel like I would prefer that she didn't. I would rather see like other heirs.
Is it supposed to be the oldest daughter no matter what?
Yeah, the eldest daughter is the heir.
So I guess so she'd probably be more like, because then she would have been the one with the powers, I guess. But I don't know. I think it's too easy to have that. I mean, it's too hard to not bring her back at some point.
I love that guess. So just to finish, so 7 revenants came to the homestead, took Willa, and then Wynonna got Peacemaker and killed her dad trying to aim, which is just so fucking devastating. Like, Gus is being such a bitch to her in that one scene when she's like, "You're as broke as they come," or whatever she says. And I'm like, Jesus.
Gus sucks.
Even the sheriff is literally like, "Why'd you even come back, Wynonna? Like, everyone hates you." Basically, she's like, "Damn, what the fuck?"
It was funny, that Gus scene. Because in my head, I was trying to write, just some notes to like double take everything that was happening.
Yeah.
And I had started to say, like, she's kind of giving like the motherly routine, and then she says that to her, and I was like, okay, more like the auntly routine, because I don't think your mom would really say that to you.
So what do you guys think about the people of purgatory, like the sheriff and people? Like, do you think they know there's demons? Do you think?
No.
Well, obviously the Black Badge, what's his name?
Dolls.
He's definitely in on everything. He explicitly says it. So I don't know about like the bartender, and maybe anyone that's not an Earp, I think is kind of just blind right now.
They like mentioned the curse. But, like, I guess there's no way to know whether they like think it's like a physical manifestation, or it's just like the Earps just like consistently have bad luck, and that like bad things happen to them.
Yeah.
But they don't know that it's actually like, beings are coming back from some metaphysical realm to like torture and torment their family.
Exactly.
They know that level of it.
So Wynonna leaves, and of course, like, Waverly is the sweetest little gal. She turned me gay is basically the story here.
I love me some Waverly. That's so fun.
she was good.
You have no idea. She is easily one of the biggest keys to the whole plotline of the story. Like, she doesn't get enough screen time in this episode, but Wynonna left to kind of like give Waverly a chance to be normal, and then when she gets back, Waverly just has like everything on the wall, like a badass bitch.
Yeah, I felt bad for her in that scene when like Wynonna finds everything.
Yeah,
and you could tell Waverly's like so proud of all the work that she did. Like, she worked so hard to get it, and Wynonna's like, stop doing this. Like, immediately throws it all in the mud, basically in front of her. And I was sitting there thinking like, damn, I kind of feel bad for Waverly.
Yeah,
but I like that she has like that, classic like comedic sidekick relief character, but I feel like you don't get it much from like a younger sister type character. So I feel like I like that about her, and I would be interested to see more.
She's the quirkiest, cutest little gal.
No, I definitely like her. She seems like she's just for the fucking ride of defeating this curse. Like,
she's all about it.
Yeah, she's also very smart. Like, she's that smart side character. In season 2, they bring in this character Jeremy, who's another incredible addition to the gang. Like, they needed that one extra thing, and then it's all rounded out. And of course, you haven't met Nicole yet, but
I hope
the squad is great.
Dolls. Okay, I hate that name. I hope.
Well, his name is Xavier Dolls.
Yeah, no,
Dolls is his last name.
I hope he is like in it for the long run, because honestly, I never really gravitate towards like the official law. Character.
But he's hot, right?
But he was dominating the scenes that he was in, just from an acting perspective, not even like who his character is. So I really liked every time he was on the screen. He feels like he's going to be a great asset.
I love that you like him, because I think the demographic for the show is women and gay women. And I feel like people don't really love dolls. Yeah. And I feel like people don't really love dolls.
Oh, really?
But I love dolls.
Yeah. He's a great character for this. I mean, all we know is this episode because I feel like using the term dominates, she, as Wynonna, dominates every other person in every other scenario except for dolls.
Yeah, he controls situations.
Yeah, and at the end, the mustached man in the bar.
Sexual tension.
Okay, let's talk about Mustache Man too, because when you just before this podcast started, you just told me that he is from Schitt's Creek. He's Mutt, and you went upstairs, and I just googled a picture, and it just blew my fucking mind. That he was the same character. I showed Kyle. He is just night and day. Is this that? Shouldn't it have been relatively close to the same time period it was filmed?
Oh, 100%. Like exactly the same. I'm pretty sure.
Because the Schitt's Creek character looks like he rubbed like shoe shining black tar like all over his like face and hair.
Oh, because it's so thick and dark.
It's so thick and black. And in this, it's like he has like nice like salt and pepper look.
They hire a guy that pretty much walks around with him the whole series to fix his stash because that's his real ass stash. Awesome. So like they just the behind the scenes of this show is incredible. Yeah, but he's one of the best characters of the show. Where we're lacking in this episode is that this is a Wynonna centric episode. Like there is really no relationship building in this. Waverly and Wynonna are incredible. Mustache Man and Wynonna are incredible. Dolls and Wynonna are incredible. Waverly and anybody pretty much is just so fucking good. Some of the best like blow me away acting I've seen is on this show. And that's just because Melanie Scrivano is such a fucking powerhouse.
I feel like with your perspective of, you have the whole show, you're saying that there's not much relationship building. I feel like they set a solid foundation for her like interactions with almost everyone.
Yeah. And she has a pretty like consistent personality in how she reacts and interacts with everybody in the town. So it seems like if she just owns that specific role, she's going to fucking crush it.
Yeah. I mean, her attitude is like a gold mine for these interactions.
Yeah.
She is basically Margot, except like she loves more people more openly. Or Wynonna does. Like Margot is like savage all the time and trying to like hide the fact that she actually loves people besides Elliot. A lot of the show hinges on her love for Waverly, Wynonna's love for Waverly, and like doing anything she can to protect her family, this curse, like get rid of this curse type deal.
Yeah, can anybody use the gun?
No.
Like Waverly can't touch the gun and use it?
Okay, so I'm not sure because I've been rewatching season 1. I'm not sure if this is in this episode, but one of the Revenants tries to grab the gun, right?
Well, it's the mustache guy grabs it and holds it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so just spoiler alert, I guess. Revenants cannot touch the gun. It'll burn them. I think that happens in episode 2.
How did the mustache dude touch it? Isn't it assumed at the end when he's with all the Revenants and they're doing their war party that he's...
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, so I guess he's not a Revenant, but maybe he might be. I don't know. Like, I could see him being just like a demon that is good. He's
I will say another cool thing about this show is the lineage of all the characters is basically just like thrown up in the fucking air. It's like, who are these people really?
Well, now that you're saying, I mean,
I just wanted to get another guess on the board of like what you think. Is he going to be pure good, like working with Wynonna? God damn it.
I mean, if it's purely based on what we saw in this episode, I would say no.
Oh, you think he's going to be bad? I think he's going to help.
But like now that I know, like
you also haven't met the leader of the Revenants, who is just such a good villain.
That was one of my notes, is saying I definitely need a good badass lead that's going to be the opposite, because these cowboy Revenants, they just didn't feel that threatening. They seemed a little bit more goofy than like tension at all.
So the show actually didn't you feel that this was barely sci-fi? Like, besides the mention of the curse and some of the changes of this show gets way more sci-fi, way more goofy within its sci-fi, which is the best. Kind of like, I keep saying this, but magician-esque, where it's like they're in wacky situations because of like just goofiness. You get a big deep dive on the OG curse. Like, you get flashbacks of all the OG stuff, which in really cool ways, like really clever ways. There's different creatures. There's way more information on Black Badge and Doll's whole backstory, which is great. But one of my favorite things, I'm not going to name him, but the leader of the Revenants has such a fucking cool backstory. And it goes all the way back to the beginning.
Really looking forward to the leader of them. Of the 77?
Yeah.
77.
Well,
is he one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's just weird because my take on after the first episode was that the mustache man was going to be that character. Now I guess I can't talk about it from that angle because I know that it's not true now.
Yeah, sorry.
He definitely could have been. Like, he had potential to be, but I also think he seems like he's going to help Wynonna. Just based on their like quick interaction, I feel like he could be. I don't know. I think he could be a man on the inside of just like the fucking demons.
I'm just saying now it's impossible for me to now not know that he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, that's true, but like,
So is the season, I think I just was like scrolling on Netflix. Is it 12, 12, 12, 12 or something like
13, 12, 12, 12. The first season has 13.
It's only 4 seasons.
4 seasons
Okay,
done, wrapped up in the best way in the whole fucking world. I can't believe how good the wrap up was for season 4.
That's awesome.
It's like done.
Done.
I thought they were trying to find a home for season 5.
I think they might do like a movie later, which would be cool. But it would need some sort of time jump because that's how well it wrapped up. It would need a big time jump
for something else to happen. Yeah,
there's just no way. It is excellent.
That's
excellent. But yeah, so basically, I don't think I said this, but I thought it was cool that it's each Earp heir has to get all 77, and then if they don't, they die, and then when the next and die before they get the 77, when the next heir turns 27, they all resurrect, which is cool. I actually don't think they mentioned this till a later one, maybe, but you get more and more demonic each time you come back.
They said that.
Yeah, it's so I love that. I'm like, because they're like, if you'd spend time in hell, you'd be fucking crazy too.
So do we know if they have powers yet, the demons themselves, or they're just?
So that's kind of the cool thing about Demon of the Week is they do.
Okay.
And episode 4 was like one of my favorites where I was like, oh, this is a cool demon. I like this one.
This show is definitely. So it's when you say like Demon of the Week, I really hate those kind of shows that
Me
do
too.
that. I'm willing to stick it out because it's so short, but like not Supernatural, sorry, Smallville, like the Superman origin story, that's like a bunch of seasons, and the whole first season is that, and I just could not get through because it's just Superman fighting a random villain.
Oh, that's basically Supergirl was like that season 1. Like they need an overarching story, which comes in the middle of season 1 in this one.
Cool.
But yeah. So, okay. So here's the big question. Would you watch more?
I would definitely. I did just start The Expanse, but like I can parallel both of these at the same time. And this is going to be, I think, a lot quicker than The Expanse too.
Oh, you blow right through it. Also, what a great theme song. One day,
I wrote that down. I fucking can really get behind the theme song.
A few months ago, it was like a winter Sunday. I watched the whole first season in one day, and I was just like, every time I was like, ba-dum, like every time I heard it, I was just like,
all right, we're back.
It's short and sweet. It's good.
It's so good.
Does it change at all through the series?
No,
that's dope.
The only thing they actually, the cool thing about it is they changed some of the visuals just so you could. So like at the beginning of every season, you're like, what's the visual?
Nice.
Kind of like Magicians, how they change the wall.
Speaking of the music too, I feel like her personality combined with the soundtrack, it's just like, I'm going to use this term and like unironically, it's just like girl boss, very iconic character. Like I can see why a lot of people would latch on to her. They just like build the atmosphere around her really well, and then she also obviously acts it very well.
Yeah.
I noticed a couple of the cringy one-liners though, definitely in this episode when she's about to get shot by her sister. She's like, oh, this is the shittiest birthday ever, or something like that. Like those kind of things.
I love when Waverly's like, why don't you slip into something a little more comfy, like a coma?
That was a good one, though.
I love it.
You're going to put someone into a coma with a shotgun.
It's season 4 finale, the series finale. She does like, so in that scene when she says that, she kind of does this like eyebrow raise with the shotgun, and she has like she does the exact same thing in the series finale, and everyone like lost their fucking mind.
Oh, nice.
This show does that. They really do parallels well. And I'll just say this. So the Earpers fandom is like the fucking craziest fandom ever. After mid-season 3, they got renewed for a 4 and 5 on Sci-Fi, but IDW, who funds it, actually like they couldn't fund it anymore. So they got canceled after season 3. And then the Earpers like fundraised like fucking hell, was like fight for Wynonna, and they got a season 4, and it was just so worth it. I've never, because the cliffhanger season 3, I would just die if we never got anything for it. This show gets so crazy. They go to the Garden of Eden, like it's fucking nuts. It's awesome. It's dope. And season 4, like the writers and Emily Andress, the showrunner, like it's just a reward for the Earpers for fighting.
Yeah, it's also, that's like an insane story. I feel like the people who are making the show knew they had to make season 4 great. Then if that's how it came about, I feel like that's a whole different ballgame.
It's the same thing as the Magicians, right? Like if you're gonna get the fans to be that passionate about it, you got to knock it out of the park.
I've never seen a fandom like this, and I'm a part of it. Like, my Twitter is just out of control. It's still crazy. It's still nuts. Like, I've never felt more rewarded to do the homework, to go back and like watch all the panels from all the years. The cast is so fucking funny and they love each other, and it shows on the screen, which is, we love that shit.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, it's the chemistry of the characters really shows, and the people who make the show are fucking amazing. Like, there was a panel that was just a writers panel. Like, I watched an hour of the writers just talking, and I know the writers by fucking name, which is out of, like, I used to go after my first rewatch and I watched all the panels. I went back and like was like, oh, which episode am I watching? Who wrote this episode? Who directed it? Like, I was so insane. It's crazy.
Yes.
I just love it. I love it. What'd you say?
You were so insane.
Oh no, I know. I know. Now that I'm rewatching it again, I'm like, oh no, I'm falling back into it.
Well, who wrote this episode?
Emily Andros wrote the pilot.
Okay.
Yeah. She's the showrunner, and she did Lost Girl, which was another sci-fi show. So there's a lot. The show is big on representation and like the bury your gays trope, but like, it is crazy how many panels talk about the Lexa thing. Wynonna panels talk about Lexa because this is the same thing. So they aired in the same year. 2017 was when, or right around that time was when Lexa died on the 100. And spoiler alert, there's a LGBTQ couple, Waverly, and we haven't met Nicole yet. But so she gets shot. One of them gets shot at the end of the season. They obviously survive, but Emily Andros went on record being like, I'm not going to kill them. Like, I'm not going to kill them. You can relax. Yeah. They're safe. Like, I'm not burying your gays. So she did Lost Girl. And that's a premise of they're like fae. There's like dark and light fae. And Bo, the main character, was like a bisexual succubus. It was actually really cool. I watched 4 seasons recently, but it was on CWC. It's an impossible platform to watch things on.
It definitely is.
It's the worst.
HBO Max is my number one enemy for streaming platforms, but the CW website is terrible.
Yeah, so I was watching it on that while I was working from home, but now that I'm not working from home, I just can't find time to like torture myself on CWC.
That makes me so happy that Waverly gets into another relationship because her and Champ, I was glad that doesn't work out because that was never going to happen.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Wait, that just reminded me though. I had a question. What the other creep that was in the bar that she knew from high school, or I don't know if she knew from high school, from the small town, the one that gets his tongue ripped out.
Yeah, that's the worst part of the episode, the tongue getting ripped out. That's just not what a tongue would look like getting ripped out.
But
there's no blood.
She knew who he was, which implies that he was always alive. Like,
no, I don't think she knew who he was.
Doesn't she? Oh, she didn't.
I think she knew.
Like in the bar when he just walks up to her and starts fucking with her for no reason.
I think she knew him, but
so my question is, how was he just was he just a demon like forever? Yeah,
like if Ward didn't kill him, he would just still be around. Like some people might have been like resurrected once and have just like
been safe because they haven't been hunted and killed by the earth.
So yeah, like just to let you know, they're in purgatory currently, but the curse is in the entire Ghost River Triangle, which is like thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. Okay. So it's like, it's so big, like a revenant could go to the corner of it and hide. Like they could go, and some do, like, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to get all 77. It's not just like, some of them are just fucking stupid, like hanging out at the bar, taunting her, being like, you're so cursed. You know what I mean? That's why they're like, stupid Carl, rip your tongue out.
I totally took it that she didn't know him. She just knew Champ.
Yeah. But like, you're right though. He would have been exactly the same when she was 5 or when he was, so like he wouldn't have aged at all.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, Jesus Christ, when he rips the fucking tongue out of his mouth and just steps on it, and and he just
I like
lets
it too.
the dry blood be there for the whole episode.
Well, he just fucking doesn't give a fuck at that point. I would say my number one complaint was like the action sequence, like Luke said at the end.
Yeah,
like, even beyond the kick, just like the timing of. I mean, I watch anime, so I'm perfectly okay with like the timing,
superhero timing and stuff.
Yeah,
but like it just felt very like disjointed and not fluid and. It was like everyone could have died and probably should have died.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially when she like shoots out the thing. It's like he has a gun to her and he knows he's going to die. It's like, then just shoot her. Hurry up.
Yeah,
just do it. Yeah, it gets so much better, especially the action sequences, because there are a ton of them. Like, this is like.
I feel like she has a lot of potential to just kick ass.
Oh my God, she's so good.
Is like luck of your bullet part of the curse? Like when she shoots, she obviously wasn't aiming to hit off of the metal fan, then ricochet and hit him. Like, is that part of?
I think,
or is that just boring writing.
I think that her being able to now do these like crazy ninja kicks is stupid, and that doesn't stick. But it is a magic gun.
Okay.
Right, that's cursed and has like you can see in the inside. There's almost like a spell carved into the gun. Yeah. So like I think that's yes. I think it is like magic, not luck, but magic.
So was she missing the sign because it wasn't a demon? It's not meant for that kind of shooting.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. She was standing like right there, and she was like,
yeah, and it's nice because they do throughout the series show her training, show her shooting, show her like she's not just like all of a sudden badass. Gotcha. They show her, and like there's a scene in the next episode where she's like, only I can handle the gun, and she like spins it, it just like flies her off the, and it's just like that. Yeah, it's self-aware, like she's supposed to be flawed, and it's good.
Yeah,
very good.
I speaking on this like kind of quote unquote final scene, it's not really, but she like grabs her sister, she grabs Waverly's legs to like give her the air back, and then she says like deep breath, and then whatever kicks the guy and like stands there and stares at him for like a second, like, yeah, I did that, while Waverly is fucking hung behind her. And I was thinking like, yo, go get her. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then Dallas comes on like a boss.
Mm-hmm.
I love how he parks the car, opens the door for them to get into the car, and then shuts the door behind them.
Is it you good?
Yeah.
So even her just like little thing, like, could you have gotten a bigger car or something? Like she's just always taunting Dolls. But what do you think about the fact that it wasn't Dolls that covered them? It was Mustache Man.
Yeah. Like I said, I think there's a chance that if he's not going to be pro Wynonna, he could at least be a neutral faction that isn't just pure demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's just where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I just liked his potential as someone who like Luke had mentioned earlier, the 3 Revenants that we met, I guess technically met 4, but the 3 who hatched the plan were clearly like low level, not much thought went into it. Yeah, so I think the potential of the show to like keep introducing us more and more intense Revenants as Wynonna herself grows is like sky high. I think that's like the thing I would be most backstory, obviously, but that concept of Revenants and their variety and how strong they are and smart they are, and then at the same time as Wynonna grows, that's what I would be most interested in to watch.
Yeah, the big bads are really good, but also kind of the politics of it all. Like Black Badge ends up kind of being like the enemy at some point because of just like they say, like they bombed Maldito because it was too far gone, so they just bombed the whole place. Like they didn't want to. Wynonna's fighting so they don't fucking bomb Purgatory at any time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It also seems like there's no way she would just take the Black Badge deputy and be like, okay, I'm just part of the squad now.
Yeah. Well,
it's not her personality, just be a cop.
Yeah, she's sharp, so sharp though. When he shows the badge, she's like, what's that black? I don't recognize. Like, someone show me a fucking badge. They could show me one that they bought at the Halloween store and I'd be like, damn, this guy's legit. Like she could spot his thing and knew something was off about it. Yeah, like, I don't.
You didn't do 2 stints in juvie, and I know for some questioning in a B&E case.
Yeah. In the Bleecker case.
That's what it was.
Yeah. What'd she say? She's like a couple stints with the Banditos too. Like she was running with like a fucking Sons of Anarchy type crowd. Love that about her. She's so hot.
She has the little butterfly knife that she just fucks around
when
with.
she was like to champ on his chest, I was like, sexy.
The better was Dolls when she just turns around and he's right behind her. Yeah, that was cool. That was
she
like
rocks him in the face too. Like she, and then you could tell, right? You could tell her face was like, oh fuck, I just like really punched a cop.
Yeah, with some suspect
FBI.
I have 2 other things I want to talk about. The first one is just I don't know if you've ever seen, either of you two ever seen the show Supernatural, but it is just like you could tell that this has roots from that. It's a very similar type of networking show, right? It's just like all about the family and the backstory, and it's all demons, you know, Supernatural is though. And just like the flashback is such a key part of Supernatural that keeps getting brought up through the seasons. Yep. And I just have a feeling there's going to be so much more deep content to go into with the backstory and her father and like her shooting her father and stuff like all that. I just linking it like that. I think it seems very supernaturally.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
That's interesting too, because I was going to say that I can't think of a show that I could compare this to. But I've never seen Supernatural.
Yeah, it's pretty similar, at least the start.
It's nice that it was sci-fi because especially in season 4, they bumped it to a mature rating and a 10 o'clock time slot. So they're just like one episode they say fuck like 80 times. I feel like they're just like fuck this, fuck that, like everything. And then like, oh, it's so good because especially that when Waverly starts cursing, it's the best because she's just like a sweet little dummy the whole time. Like she's so like prudish in the way she speaks, but then all of a sudden she's like fuck this, fuck that. It's so badass.
Does she break up with the guy? Like, is he not important?
Champ, he's kind of like the joke of the series because like
so he's still in it.
He's in it for some of season 1, and then her and Nicole start having like the intro of them is so good in episode 2. Nicole just comes in confident as hell and hits on her, and you're like, oh shit! Like I watched this show because Luke's dad, my brother-in-law, kept telling me about it, and then like on my feeds, like Tumblr and stuff, I kept seeing scenes from it, so I was spoiled a lot because it just kept coming up. Like it runs in the same circles of shows I watch. So I'm like, so I knew going in that they were going to be together. So I was just waiting for it. It was like sexual tension. So good. I love it. But yeah, this show gave me the courage for me to come out. I was like, yeah,
that's awesome. That's good shit.
That's why I watched it 18 times. It took me that many times through to be like, I got this. And now I'm in a happy relationship.
The other thing I wanted to bring up though was definitely, maybe this is more for you, Kyle, but I just felt that the music score was just Peaky Blinders, basically, like just badass, like rock music.
Yeah.
Just every time she does something cool, it's just good background stuff. It was giving me Peaky Blinders.
It really accentuates her character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Tommy Shelby. Baby.
Yeah. It's a great part of it.
This is one of those shows where every title of the episode is a song title.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Well, a lot of shows actually do that.
Purgatory, right?
Yeah, Purgatory.
Yeah, that's kind of
spot on, right on the nose.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just to reiterate, the intro song was pretty fucking awesome. So
yeah, it was good. I'm interested. Again, I'm gonna say this too because I feel like you have your own perspective of the entire show.
Yeah,
and, you're not downplaying the pilot, but my perspective of the pilot was that they gave us a lot of information. I feel like they set like, a really good foundation. I feel like they answered a lot of questions that they raised in the same episode. Also, like really quickly sometimes. She says to herself twice. In the beginning, she says, we're armed.
Yeah.
That was weird that she says we're armed. And then at the end, or when she first goes to the homestead and is walking back to the truck, and she says, we have to do something. And then pauses and immediately says, I'm talking to my truck again, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like that was a question that I had. And then they immediately answered it. It happens again. It happens multiple times.
Yeah.
And then I was shocked that they gave us the backstory of her shooting her dad.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that either.
Yeah. I feel like they did a good job of raising some questions, answering them, but also giving us a good like overarching mystery that like keeps you wanting to watch more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's easy for a pilot to just be kind of boring and nothing really happens.
Yeah.
And I thought this episode was a really nice blend of like action, shit was happening, we're figuring some things out, but like the things we're figuring us out makes me want to know more. There's obviously more behind it.
Yeah.
So I thought from that perspective, it was like almost like a home run.
Yeah, bitch. Love to hear that. Are you a little biased for me talking it up for so long for a year?
No, I would say no. If anything, it would be the opposite of like you keep talking and I'm like, yo, fuck this show. Like,
I disagree. I think I liked it more having of listened to Kathleen for all this time because again, lowered your expectations for all the CGI stuff.
Yeah.
So that stuff hit a little bit better, and just the expectations of it just being a straight rise show. I think it was great. I appreciate you giving us that.
Yeah.
All that background information to go into it with because it made it a little bit better.
I think my CGI warnings, it's not as bad in this one. So I'm on episode 5 on my rewatch. The bad guys in 2 and 3 are so corny that it's like, I think that's what I was thinking of because the first ones are just some like goofy revenants, you know what I mean? But as you go on, they're just a little bit cringy, but I still love it. Like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm like, she's going to kill them anyway. Who cares? Like, I'm like more interested in our heroes, like Waverly Dolls, Wynonna, of course, and Mustached Man.
I would say for like this pilot did a pilot's job.
Yeah, totally.
Just like similar, even probably better than the 100. That's like one.
Wow, you think?
Not like a parallel I'll make, but I feel like looking back at the 100 episode.
Sorry, no.
What are you, Dave?
Fuck off.
I don't think the 100 episode pilot is bad.
Yeah,
but I feel
right.
Like, I don't know. In terms of, I feel like there was just more in this episode than there was in the 100 episode. I feel like everything that happens in the 100 episode is like really self-contained to like them on Earth and that issue. And I feel like we had a little more broader
Yeah.
issues kind of in this episode.
And I just like that Wyatt and Doc were real ass people, and like this is sci-fi based in truth. Like this is what would happen if they got if Wyatt Earp got cursed 120 years ago, and this is that universe, which I like. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And my dad watched it and really liked it. This is the only type of thing where I'm like a Western. Like it's not actually Western. It's like a modern Western, but like I fucking hate Western. Like I can't watch a Western movie. That shit sucks to me, but this is so fucking good. And I like the badassness of Wynonna. It's female led the whole fucking time, and it's badass.
Reminds me of the prime of Westworld a little bit.
Oh yeah, that I could watch too. I guess.
Yeah, right.
I like that too.
No, I'm the same way. I usually don't gravitate towards Westerns at all, but good premise. I liked it. I think it was something I could definitely watch.
I wish you would.
I might.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are here at the end of the episode, and for this style, PitchtownTV, we're gonna do how you review it, how you rate it, right? The rooks, the people who haven't seen it before, are gonna rate it. So these are our 3 categories. We got 1, we got must binge. You're gonna binge it real quick right now at this moment. 2, add it to the list. You'll get to it hopefully at some point. And 3, and for that reason, I'm out. And you gotta give a good old reason for why you will not be watching it. Kyle?
I'll step up and go first. I will add it to the list. One part of that is because I have a small window of like available time to like watch TV. At the moment, I'm like really into The Sopranos. So that's just where my head's at with it. I really enjoyed the show. I will add it to my list and then make an effort to like get it on other people's lists.
Love that.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, so just how I'm taking these ratings real quick, and just it'll support of what my decision actually is. When I'm thinking of must binge, that means like it's going to be done within 2 or 3 weeks. And when I think of add it to the list, it's going to be done within 2 to 3 months. And then obviously the last one would be you're not watching it. So with that being said,
this guy watches a lot of fucking TV.
Yeah,
I do. That's that. With that being said, I'm going to have Wynonna be added to the list, except with the caveat of being pretty high on that damn list right now.
Baby.
I'm not promising I'm going to have this watched in the next couple weeks, but I definitely can make this a priority, and I think it's going to make me and Kathleen's relationship better if I do. So
yeah, hell yeah. I will love you guys. I didn't think I could love you two anymore, but after this episode, my God.
It's also tough in the summer. I'm a bit busier in the summer.
I agree
my
with
weekends are a little more clogged up.
Yeah, me too.
know?
I totally think a lot of shows that are on par with Wynonna, shows that any of us hosts are passionate about, all you got to do is sit down and watch the first one. You get into it. That's really the challenge. So now that I've done it and I have the premise, I have the character and idea in my head, I'm way more likely to just next time I'm sitting down and watching TV, willing to throw this on. So
it's also really funny that we talk about how, especially with TV shows, your list never gets smaller. You just keep adding to it. And now we're introducing this whole pitch down series to our podcast. And the list, I'm just thinking my list is just going to get bigger and bigger. And
it's tough because for my favorite episode, I mean, we were on for just under 2 years. So we dropped one a week. I did almost 100 episodes for that. And I had to tell people I'm not going to watch this show. Like, I'm sorry. And shout out, I know Matt Kelly's going to be listening to this. Poor guy. Everyone he pitched, I'm like, if I had an unlimited amount of hours, I would definitely watch this show. But I just don't have the time, and I have to be more selective with my shows. So there's a bunch of ones that I'm like, so sorry, I'm not gonna watch this. And for that reason, I'm out.
I'm gonna be ruthless. I'm so willing to say fuck off. I'm not watching this show. So don't think I'm sucking up to you because you're here and this is your show.
It's very vulnerable to pitch your favorite show and hope that
you might have gotten off easy on the first episode.
Yeah, I know. Because we have a lot of ideas we're throwing around, and we're gonna have people who aren't Bingetown members come on and do shows, but we ourselves have so many that we want to pitch to each other.
Yeah,
this is such a good one for me
too. That there's gonna be, if you're listening, there's gonna be a lot of new voices probably popping around BingetownTV, new residents and
trusted confidants.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
we're gonna switch up the typical sci-fi and fantasy for the most part. I think people are going to be coming on here, so a lot of people will be pitching those kind of shows, of course, but going to be expanding our repertoire of what we're listening to over here. So,
and I'm just going to wrap this up with a quick bang, kill, marry, best friend. So since there's really 4 main characters, we'll do all of them. So we're going to do Wynonna, Waverly, Dolls, and Mustache Man.
Shorty doesn't count.
Oh, poor Shorty.
I'm trying to best friend Shorty.
Yeah, that's true. We could do Shorty. He honestly had more lines than Mustache Man, I think.
Mustache Man's a guy.
Okay, so I'll start, and I am going to bang Wynonna because is that girl a freak. We love. She's badass. You'll see throughout the series. She's just the fucking coolest. It's tough not actually. No. I take it back. I am marrying Waverly. We'll start with that. Hands down, she's my bae. She stays my bae forever. Wynona's my best friend. She's the coolest. Maybe she'll kiss me too. Even though I married her sister.
You're gonna kiss her sister.
Anyway, so then I'm going to kill Mustache Man, and I'm gonna bang Dolls because that boy hot. That boy is sexy, and he can control that gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if you can really get into your thoughts without being too spoilery, so I can just give predictions on what I'm doing here. But I'm gonna best friend Dolls because I think he's got the clout, he's got the pull, he's gonna be the homie that I just, you could just tell he already is taking a protector role with Wynonna, even though it's partly based in blackmail and stuff like that. But like he's gonna save her ass, and I'm sure she's gonna save his ass a bunch of times.
Love that.
Seems like a great best friend. For now, I'm gonna marry Wynonna because she's just hot and fun and does cool shit. And, but with the caveat that Waverly has the option, looks wise, to take the place of who I will eventually marry. So for now, I'm gonna bang Waverly. I need more of her to really put her over Wynonna. And then Mustache Man gets the kill until I hear more words coming from his mouth.
He's sexy too, though. My God,
and
like
he's
him,
mutt, dude. What the fuck?
I know, he's so sexy.
So I'm gonna marry Waverly because although it is like a running joke, it's a thing that I do like older women. She just seems like a better match to marry. I think that what's her aunt's name again? Gus she was kind of being mean to her, but like Wynonna is like kind of fucked up. I don't know if that's something I would just after one episode
she's
hop
so
on
broken.
the bandwagon to marry.
But
I'll bang her.
Well, what I can do is bang her.
What I can do is bang her because she makes multiple references herself that she's good in the bedroom. So we'll see how that goes. And then best friend definitely Dolls because he just showed me more than Mustache Man. And Mustache Man still has that vibe of he could be a bad guy. So I'm gonna obviously just kill him and won't have to worry about it.
Wow, love that. Also, one more thing about Gus. How about when she's giving the eulogy and she says the first time she sees him, she basically was like, "This is an incest child, man. He is Fugtown." Like, how closely related are his parents? Like, Jesus Christ, this is a roast.
Technically the closed captions, but the subtitles, it says chuckling. Like no one laughed. Just like people like pity laughed at that joke. They weren't like people weren't really laughing. I thought that was funny.
All right, so that's the episode. That's our first official recording of PitchtownTV. That was Wynonna Earp, and everyone fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's like it's good that it was Wynonna Earp. Yeah, that show deserved to be the first show that we did for Pitchtown.
If you like what you heard, give us a follow on BingeetownTV on Instagram. Check out our website. Follow us on Twitter. We're all over the place. We cover a bunch of different shows, including The Magicians and Boys and Alice in Borderland and all the Haunting of Hill Houses, the 100.
Yeah, just keep going.
We're awesome.
Morty.
Yeah, we are fucking awesome. Curse, a big one for us.
Yeah, the only season ever of Curse we carried. We covered it.
Boy, we did. Well, yeah, thanks for listening. And we're going to be back with a lot more content, a lot of good pilots. We're going to pitch that shit to you. This is Bingetown and PitchtownTV. And thanks for listening.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. And for that reason, we out. Nice.
Tell that devil to take you back, take you back, take you back. My heart went from red to black, red to black, red to